Hello everybody, how's it going? RichardHeart here. RichardHeart went on Twitter. Today is a beautiful day. We have only 4 hours until the day ticks over, and that will be the final day that sacrifice can happen. To review some numbers that we've had on PulseChain.info, Pulse.info and PulseChain.com, we've had 200 million in stablecoins sacrificed. We've had about 20 million in Bitcoin sacrificed, 3.3 million in Cardano, 2.5 million in Bitcoin Cash, a million of Monero, a million of Litecoin. We've had 3 million across BSC and BNB on their networks. A lot of sacrifices. And we've also had 27.3 million last I checked, to the SENS Foundation for Medical Research, a registered 501c3 charity that is trying to save your life. So, yeah, I don't know that you could ask for much more. So far, so good. Hopefully, over this last 4 hours, I'm just going to go look at the timer on PulseChain.com real quick. 4 hours and 24 minutes until the final day. So the rate's going to tick up 5% again, and then that's the last day. Then it's over. The ranking phase, where you'd be rewarded for ranking higher than somebody else, that ended a couple days ago. And so those numbers are already locked in. And I finally got around to checking the Zcash chain. There wasn't anything exciting on there. I think there was only 100K on there, which is, you know, not much compared to the other chains. That would be amongst the least. Yeah, so since the ranking phase is over, now it's a flat 1.75x for this final day in 4 hours, 23 minutes. And what that means is that, you know, on day 16, if you're a really little guy and you weren't going to get much volume bonus because you didn't have that much volume, then this flat bonus actually helps you a lot. So even though you're getting near the worst rates because it went up 5% per day for 14 days, you're still getting a pretty decent amount of points because you're getting a flat 1.75x bonus no matter what your volume is. So that's not as good for the big guys, because they could have got up to 2.5x during the first day 6 to 17. Actually, even day 1. So day 1 to 16, they could have got up to 2.5x had they been the number one ranked sacrificer. And even that 2.5x, it's only the very tip of it. Then it goes down for each one of their points. So 1.75 ain't bad. It's not bad at all. It's pretty good. I mean, if you got in day 16 with low volume, I think day 17 and 18 and 19 are probably still better ROI for you. I think day 1 would have been the best for anybody, but. Do you like my jacket? It goes with my fancy pants. But other than looking cool for the stream, too hot. So I'm going to take this off. Goodbye, jacket. Too hot. I love that the Bitcoin and Ethereum prices have bounced. I've been hoping and waiting for this for a long time. I told everybody that we got a retest. We got a bull trap back in the 2018 cycle where it dropped from 20K down to 10K, and then went back up to 17.3K. Big bounce. Everyone was very happy. Everyone thought it was the return to normal. If you look up the psychology of a market bubble chart, you'll see return to normal right there on the bull trap. I think that's what we're doing now. Now, if I'm wrong, I'll make more money. But I'm usually not wrong, so I hate being right about stuff that I make less money on. So I would love to see 50K Bitcoin and $3,600 Ethereum. that would be the same type of bull trap level and retrace percentage that we had in 2018. Who knows? Maybe we'll get it, maybe we won't. But I still believe that over the next year, we will eventually tap 10K on Bitcoin and probably 270 on Ethereum. We'll see. Somebody asked, so can you be in the ranking system and then sacrifice today and get the 1.75x? Yeah. Yes. They're two different systems. The ranking system ended a couple days ago. That's over with. It's done. Now we just have these last 3 days, of which there's only 1 day and 4 hours left, and that's 1.75x flat. So whatever you do now is not going to affect the ranking system. If you donate to the SENS Foundation, for example, 10K, you get 75%. But to which price, he says? Well, there's no price because it's not a sale. It's not a purchase. There is a rate, though, and that rate went up 5% per day starting on day 6. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Now we're on day 18. So you had 13 days of price increases. Sorry, rate increases. And you end up with a rate tomorrow at 1.98x what it used to be on day 1 through day 5. That's what happens when you 1.05x something a bunch of times, keeps getting larger and larger. So, you know, you're on the final day in 4 hours, your rate will be 1.98x worse than it would have been days 1 through 5, but you do get a 1.75x flat volume multiplier. So it's kind of like a savior for the little guys. So in these final days, the whales, they can't do as well, but the little guys, they can do as well. But I mean, if you're a whale, like, the system's really well designed. If you want to work out the math on exactly how the curves worked, you can go into t.me/HEXTrading or t.me/PulseChainCom, and you'll see smart people with charts and stuff. Any other good questions here? Does the PulseChain.xyz leaderboard include the SENS donations? No, it doesn't. So that one guy that put in 10 million into the SENS Foundation directly from Coinbase, he's probably in the leaderboard. But I unless they manually injected him, it wouldn't show up there. So I think like that's probably the most important one from the SENS side. Are you ever gonna light the candles and replace them? Yeah, at $1, I'll light them again. When HEX is $1, I'll light the candles again. So far we've been up to 22, and I think right now we're at like 12.5 or 13, something like that. Let's go look. Yeah, 12 cents. Where is Richard's microphone attached to? It looks like it's floating. Yeah, true. That's a good point. It does look like it's floating. I like that. My mind powers are controlling this. I like to give people that watch good JPEGs and GIFs to fool around with. There ought to be a good one. Why are crypto channels afraid of talking to RichardHeart? Well, they're not really afraid. I mean, I've been on a lot of crypto channels very recently. The only people that are afraid are those that disagree with me. They're afraid because I have a history of dead bodies behind me. Everyone that has disagreed with me has been doomed to destruction. So it's pretty funny. It's like I'm like the final boss. How will Pulse points get distributed to the individuals that donated fiat to SENS? Well, they don't really get distributed. They just kind of get observed. And so the SENS Foundation is going to provide a list of addresses with amounts next to them and times. And that's just what happened on their end. And then math can be done to apply the rate increasing from day 6 to 19, and the volume ranking as well for the days where it's applicable, so that their points are known. And so I believe the answer to your question is that it's subsequent to the SENS Foundation producing the document that is the record of what happened on their side. So, will native Pulse token provide the gas for transactions of the Pulse chain? Yes. pHEX post-launch buy strategy, please. Don't know, man. I do not know. Sorry. Let's wait for it to exist. I mean, we've got probably 2 months to figure some of these really interesting things out. So luckily we have 2 months to figure that out. My best guess. Do we need to move our sacrifice within 30 days or just the ERC20 copies? So there's no clawback on the ERC20s planned, and the only thing that's planned to get, you know, freemiumed and taken back out after 30 days is the Pulse that is gotten for free by Ethereum holders, which is less than a 10,000th of the supply. But still, when the price might go up 10,000x, you still don't want those guys to get the ability to dump for being apathetic. So we want people that are engaged. We want to reward good behavior, and therefore, you know, if you want to keep your freemium Pulse that you got for free, well, I mean, I guess everyone's getting it for free, but particularly the Ethereum guys, those particular guys that are getting it for free, you need to move it to a new address. Otherwise, it's going to get deducted the value. So it's just the Pulse that you would have gotten for free as an ETH holder. Doesn't have to do with the stuff you got for free as a sacrificer. How long until sacrifice ends will our final points be published, and where will the points be published? Well, I mean, the SENS Foundation, you may need a week for them to add up their stuff. We've pretty much got some of these totals are hard. So we want to try and use a time-weighted average price where it's convenient. For some things, it's really convenient because those feeds already exist. And for some things, those feeds do not exist. So to the best of my knowledge, nowhere in the world exists a time-weighted average price for HEX. There's no Excel sheet to download. There's no API to subscribe to. There's no service that sells it. So you either have to do what's easy and just take the spot price at the time, which you can get that data from a lot of places, or you have to do what's hard and break out the math on your own. And then there are a lot of ERC20s that have that same parameter, that there's no time-weighted average price feed for them. So I can't give you like a specific time on how long that might take. I'm going to guess a week and a half to 2 weeks is my guess. Because some systems will be very easy. Like Bitcoin, Ethereum, super easy. There's time-weighted average price feeds all over the place. But some of the other ones, they're just hard. So, and it's not really, I mean, the other issue is like, what's the rush? That number becomes important for mainnet. And so until mainnet is about to launch, that number doesn't really matter. So, and you could get, even if you didn't have the TWAPs, you could get very close with just the spot, because I didn't see any games being played. I mean, all the price action across everything looked pretty organic to me. So, you know, I'm not sure how much the TWAP would even change everything. So we'll see. Get Gary V on a live stream. You do it. Get him on here. Every one of his little beautiful NFTs that he loves so much, he's going to have access to the same code right here on the Pulse chain. So he should care. He should care a lot, because he loves him some serial numbers loosely related to JPEGs, otherwise known as NFTs. He loves them. Make the watches spin, bro. Spin, my pretties. Spin. Where will Pulse-related jobs be advertised? Great question. I'm not sure. Probably on the main website is my guess. PulseChain.com, my guess. By the way, I made the description super chill so that the AI might like the channel more. So there's no links in the description. And yeah, so far so good. We're still communicating. We're still live. What's the best starter Ferrari to get? I don't know. If you're cheap, you get an old one, you know, like a 355. It's pretty. You know, I think you can pick one up for 80 grand. Richard, what video games do you enjoy? None of them, because I used to be addicted to video games, and I kicked the habit, and I'm not going back. I emailed you regarding working with you, wondering if you saw it. No, I don't recognize your name, man, and I don't check email that often, so hit me on Telegram, t.me/RichardHeart. What's inside your LV luggage? They're just empty. It's like wallpaper, basically. Richard, any plans to start another crypto project so another group of your investors can get rich? I don't know that any of those words are accurate, but nice question, bro. Can we see behind the chair in that room? I'm so curious. What? It's just a big cabinet, man. Maybe he means this way? I don't know. Can you tell us the name of the chain that you had the idea for before Pulse? No. I still like the name, so I don't feel like fighting people for the IP around it. Do you have bodyguards yet? I can't tell you that, mate. That wouldn't be good for operational security, would it? Richard, what up, boss man? Magic carpet ride tomorrow? Question mark. For those that might be new to the channel, magic carpet ride in our community is the opposite of a rug pull. So you're always hearing about people pulling the rug and watching the price go to zero, but they don't talk about the opposite, the magic carpet ride. So we like to evaluate the risk of extreme price volatility to the upside. You have an entire family watching you in Bushwick, Brooklyn. We love HEX. Thanks, Bobby. Appreciate it. You excited, Richard? How are you feeling about all the work you've done and what's about to happen? I mean, I really should be, right? I really should be. But I'm just focused on work, you know? Like, there's things that have to be done, and I want them to be done as well as they can be done, and reveling in the joy of dominating feels good, but it's just not where I spend my time, you know? It's like right now, I'm just focused on getting stuff done. But if we wanted, I mean, let's try it. Let's try and switch our mindset to like the, wow, we're winning. Let's talk about how much we're winning. I go to nomics.com. HEX is the #3 market cap crypto. The market cap has been as high as 100 billion. Right now it's 70 billion. Ethereum is at 300 billion. 4x away from passing ETH. Now, market cap is a fake made up number that doesn't mean anything to anyone. No one can make money on it. You can't place orders on the market cap chart. You can't place, you can't, it's useless. Absolutely no one makes any money on market cap. So it's funny to talk about it. People do make money on price though. Our price went up 386,000% a year and a half before staking. With staking, in between 7,000 to 8,000%. I'm sorry, 7,000 to 8,000 fold, about 700, 800,000%. Pretty amazing. Perfect flawless function and uptime everywhere. The front end, back end, the contract, the free claiming, the referring, the trading, everything. Everything perfectly flawless. Amazing, really. Really, truly amazing. And then in Pulse, everyone, I mean, the number of reports of people getting scammed are extremely few. Very rare. We've had over 40,000 participants. in the sacrifice phase. I think something like 700 million has been sacrificed so far, and you know, maybe this video will inspire some people to sacrifice some more over the next day and 4 hours. 27 million raised for charity, and a charity that's going to benefit you and your family, to do medical research that may save all of us. That, in my opinion, is the best kind of medical charity. The one that if it works for the rest of the time that humans are around. I like that. I like that a lot. What else are we winning on? Some people that hated HEX and still don't like HEX have participated in the sacrifice phase. So I keep the people that talk to me, our conversations, private, except for once when I had to start a Me Too movement against somebody that was scamming hundreds of people, victimizing hundreds of people. I published our chats and basically got him canceled off the internet because it exposed him for being the scum that he was. Other than that, if someone has a conversation with me, it's private, even if I hate them. So I know there's people that wouldn't do a live stream about HEX, don't have any interest in it, but they sacrifice for Pulse. Then there's other people that were very public, you know, that they sacrificed to the SENS Foundation for charity. Ran Noor, Crypto Man Ran, has a show, or had a show on CNBC Africa. It's supposed to be coming back, and he has a show called Crypto Banter. He's got a lot of subscribers, a lot of followers. He put in, I'm not sure if he published a number, so I won't say it now, but he sacrificed to support medical research. And Ivan on Tech, he teaches people how to do blockchain stuff. He has a company that does servers and uptime things for different blockchain projects, you know, to run the nodes. And he sacrificed to the SENS Foundation as well. So both of those guys supported charity. And I know a lot of other guys that would never say, I mean, a lot of guys have participated, and maybe that's the reason that you see such good numbers, you know? These are good numbers. I think $700 million sacrificed for free speech and 27 million for medical research. That's very good numbers, in my opinion. And I think having 35,000 people in the Pulse chat, which has been around 10 times less long than the HEX chat, and HEX chat only has 25,000. That's crazy. I mean, people really understand and really like Pulse. They get it. Are you going to mod out your Cybertruck? I don't actually have an order for that, so I have a buddy that does, though. I don't know. Maybe a shorter one. Thoughts on privacy in XMR? Well, they just had a bug discovered where if you sent your coins within an hour of receiving them, you weren't actually private. It's unfortunate. So, and I don't know that it's fixed either yet. I hope they're working on that fix. So you must be careful using Monero currently. Can you talk more about the ERC-20 tokens on Pulse? I mean, sure. If you have USDC on Ethereum, you're going to have USDC on Pulse. What's it going to be worth? Nobody knows. Are they going to use their admin keys to invalidate all the coins and freeze them all? Nobody knows. Is it going to be pegged to the dollar and just still be a dollar? Nobody knows. This is a grand experiment, and we're all going to find out at the same time. You know, is pHEX on the Pulse network going to be worth more than eHEX on the Ethereum network? I don't know. I can't wait to find out, you know? So many amazing things. Your shoulders look better today. Are you sitting on a pillow? I'm not, but I'm going to experiment with that. Let's try it. Oh my God, that feels so much better. Oh my God, that feels like a million times better. I can move my elbows. I'm not like this anymore. Well, that's a winner. I think I'll be sitting on this fancy pillow from now on. Let's take a look. Oh my God. Why didn't I always do this? I can actually have posture now. Crazy. Thank you for the reminder, good sir. Robbie N, I appreciate it. Do all ERC20 users get airdropped or only MetaMask users? Yeah, it's every ERC20 for the most part. Maybe if there's one that's like an ultra scam or that for some reason I just really don't like, they won't make it. But 99.9% are going to make it. And it may even just be every one of them. We'll see. You know, we got 2 months to figure it out. Do you have a dog? I had a dog. She died. That's why you should support medical research, so that your friends and family and loved ones and pets don't have to keep dying so soon. It sucks. We love you in Bushwick, Brooklyn. We own HEX. Nice. Staked HEX also counts for pHEX. Yeah, your stakes are duplicated. Hey, RichardHeart, I used MetaMask address for donation. Do I have to change a setting to receive Pulse? Nope. You don't have to do anything. I mean, when the Pulse mainnet exists, you just change a setting in your MetaMask. Where it says mainnet Ethereum, you click that, you click custom network, you type a little bit of stuff there, and you click OK, and then that's it. It's that easy. Since you've been around the world, what's the chillest beach for my first luxury trip? I always thought the Bahamas was nice. You know, I thought the Atlantis resort there was cool. You can have a water slide through a shark tank. That's cool, you know? And it's real close to Miami where I grew up, so. Are the watches hypnotizing me? Yes, the watches are hypnotizing you, so it amplifies anything I tell you. Yeah, video games are dangerous, man. I was in the same boat, Richard. No more for me either. Respect. Snapshot date, I told you, about 2 months, hopefully. It's really a fork date. It's not a snapshot, but close enough. Will you start an exchange? I've already created a company and filled out the paperwork to get the license. We're just waiting for them to say yes. So we'll see. But it's not in the States. This one's EU. How can we convince our project owners like Deeper Network to adopt PulseChain? Look, man, if you've got to beg people for stuff and your currency of choice, you probably don't have a good one. I mean, cryptocurrency was invented to get rid of counterparty risk and remove middlemen, and so if you've got to beg middlemen for stuff, it's not good. I guess that probably is the majority of quote DeFi. It's actually rather centralized. So ask them if they're interested, and like their coin's going to be on the network, whether they want it to be or not. So if they would like to reap the rewards of that, they should probably integrate. Otherwise, someone else might. Someone else could make a front end and just add a fee. Do you own any pets? Asked and answered. What is that thing that makes your clocks rotate? It's called a watch winder. This one costs like $3,600, so my watch winder costs more than most people's watch. It's weird. Is Pulse the same type of asset as Bitcoin? I would say that it would be superior due to having more features, better security, higher throughput, etc. But it is a blockchain, and it can store and transmit value, so they're in the same neighborhood, I guess. Would you be interested in doing another stream with that guy? Sure. Yes, I would. For those that are reading chat. If you have a lot of followers, I'll do a stream with you. So go ahead, set it up. Can you give a shout out to the Hexicans in Hawaii spreading hex and Pulse love? Yes, I can, JB. Shout out. Hawaii's a cool place. Been over to Big Island, took a helicopter tour over the volcanoes there. Went climbing in the lava ducts that were no longer full of lava, and found like a geocache that was really exciting. And then Honolulu was cool. Got to swim. I just randomly ran into a green sea turtle while I was swimming. I was like, whoa, okay, that's crazy. What will PulseChain do different than Binance Smart Chain? Binance Smart Chain has twice the attack surface because it doesn't have its own native token. They shoehorned in BNB on the Binance chain, which is a Tendermint Cosmos blockchain, into their Ethereum fork, which was the Smart Chain. And so if either of those two chains has a problem, it ruins both sides. Or, I mean, it just ruins the Binance Smart Chain side, actually. They also don't do fee burning. They do it in a centralized way where some guy occasionally might burn some coins, maybe, and then that's set to stop very soon because almost half the supply has been burnt and then it stops. So they don't have algorithmic burning, and it is not trustless, and it is stopping soon. So we have superior game theory. We have the world's largest airdrop because we're bringing over system state. So there's 10,000 new coins. And we have a superior architecture in that everything is single chain. So you only have one chain worth of attack surface instead of two. So it's a better technology. Now I will say that, you know, we did borrow a lot of stuff from what the BSC guys did because they were known good working parameters. I wouldn't even known that you could be successful forking Ethereum until they showed you that you could be. I was like, oh, all right, well, let's do it, you know? So we're basically a more secure BSC with 10,000 free coins and better design. Better price design as well, in my opinion. Having no inflation and burning 25% of the fees is really cool. Richard equal LV God. Thanks. I mean, basically, so this is funny. The reason that I'm promoting all of these other brands is because it's reverse promotion. So for instance, Kanye West. Kanye West was known as like a big LV proponent for a while. And was that because Kanye wanted to become more famous? No, not really, but he did want to be associated with high quality stuff. And so since this brand's been around for a couple hundred years, 1848 was when they were founded, it's a safe bet that they're known for quality. And so if you associate yourself with things that are expensive and quality, like Rolexes and Gucci, actually I don't like Gucci that much, to tell the truth, and Louis Vuitton stuff, then it amplifies your brand. And then at some point, your brand can be good enough where you can just swap out all their overpriced logos with your own overpriced logos. And then, you know, you could have hex print stuff and pulse print stuff. But I don't have that amount of followers yet to do that switch. So I need to punk these brands to leech their followers, to then rotate and get them to invest in better things. So like when I had a car stereo store, we would put out ads for Rockford Fosgate stuff, but I didn't actually want to sell it to you because it wasn't actually quality and I didn't make much money on it. I would rather get you into something else where I made more money and you got a better product with a better warranty and better performance, and then everyone was happier. And so you had your loss leader that would be in the ads, and then when you get them in the store, you try and get them into something better. And so with this brand stuff, you know, I would rather, even for myself, you know, I've considered just hiring somebody at a fashion school to just pay them full time to just build me my own stuff with my own logos. Why am I like punking myself to like promote all their logos? And basically the reason for that is because they've got such a larger audience that I end up winning more than they end up winning. So yes, my audience is buying Rolexes, my audience is buying Louis Vuitton stuff, but the chance that their audience is investing in things I built, it's probably higher. So it's an interesting dynamic. Any platform besides YouTube in case things happen in the future? Yeah, what I'm going to do is I posted a thread on Twitter a long time ago about alternative streaming platforms. So we have guaranteed, proven, effective ways to distribute content using torrents, BitTorrent, and there is a project that allows you to live stream using BitTorrent, so you have extremely low bandwidth costs because everyone shares in the load. The issue is that you still have to, even when you do that, and doing that is smart, and having your own backups is smart, and having it on your own site is smart. Even when you do that, you need to still get new users from where they are, and where they are these giant walled gardens monopoly platforms. So even if you do all your own distribution, you still need to copy over to these other platforms, period. Or else you just won't get any new users. or you'll get them at a rate 100 times slower. I've tried this before. Like, I've streamed on Twitch and DLive and Periscope and Facebook and all these places, and just YouTube beats them all. So Richard, I've been smitten with you since the moment you called that Peter guy a stupid curse word. I'm trying not to curse anymore. I'm trying. Let's just say it's not easy. But I have done one stream without cursing so far, and that's progress, and this might be the second one. Zerg, Terran, or Protoss? I mean, I could play all races, man. I would say Terran was my weakest. I would say Protoss was my strongest, and Zerg would be second. The Terran micro with having to queue up the airdrops was just a nightmare, man. Like, Terran actually has pretty high APM. Everyone thinks Zerg is like the highest APM requirement because you have to inject all the time. I used to be addicted to video games, so I'm just talking about StarCraft 2 now because somebody asked. Maybe he was talking about StarCraft 1, but there was no Protoss, and that was there? Yeah, there was. Maybe he could be talking about 1. Likely to be talking about 2, though. Can we chip in for a PR communications employee to get you in the news? Getting journalists on board is so slow. I'm in touch with the New York Times at the moment. I think I need to go on a hiring spree this year, because I have very big dreams. So I think you'll see a 10x in the number of people that report to me. So I got a lot of slots to fill. Maybe I'll announce some of that stuff tomorrow. Do I think Saylor is right about Bitcoin? I think he made the top and bought the top. But that's great. I mean, he brought, a lot of billions in that weren't otherwise going to get in. So good job, man. Will there be a cooldown period after delegating before you can switch to a new validator? Yeah, it's a day. Do you think the market will have a privacy coin meta in the future? I hope so, man. I mean, privacy is a human right. When you go to Pulse.info, right at the top of the site, it tells you, you are sacrificing to support free speech. You believe that free speech is a protected human right and blockchains are speech. My mom says she would like to invite you to dinner. Thanks, Eric Conklin. Send pics of your mom. You sound chill. Thanks, man. I got some sleep. Everyone's talking about the snapshot like a lot. Guys, wait for the public mainnet, okay? Let's make sure everything's awesome. Let's wait for the sacrifice totals. Let's wait for the go.hex.com front end, which is being worked on, a Uniswap front end to exist. As soon as we have those things, the measurements, the network, the Uni front end, and the go.hex.com front end, then we can set a date for mainnet. So we've got a few little steps we have to take. Can't just jump to mainnet straight away. It's got to be perfect. Not perfect, but it's got to be like, it's got to be close to perfect. I mean, look, software's hard, so. And perfect in software is like a pretty high standard. Any ERC-20 tokens like Uniswap confirmed to be developing for and on Pulse? Well, I mean, I've seen a lot of posts. I know there's a couple guys that are doing token launchpads. I've seen 3 of those. And then I know HEX will be, and I know Uniswap frontend will be there because I'm going to make that happen. So, yeah, we need to make a channel for all that stuff. I gotta make some more channels. And, making channels is like a little tiny bit of a hassle because then you have to set up moderation on them, and then you have to add admins, and then you have to have a graphic artist make the logo. And then you have to add them to the list of links, and then there's a lot of stuff that goes into making new chat rooms. Richard, can you please shout out my best friend Sotero, who introduced me to Hex and PulseChain? Amazing work you're doing, sir. Thank you for all you've done and continue to do. My pleasure. I sit around very actively. It's funny, in anything that I'm involved in, you must have no expectation of profit from the work of others, particularly me. So you all must expect that I do nothing for you at all. But somehow, magically, the things I talk about seem to work out really well. My brother wants to paint you. Like my physical body or an image of me? There's a large difference. Thanks, dude, for funding my daughter's college. That's all you, man. You meant your own rewards. You take responsibility. Congratulations to yourself. Pulse is a great name. Pulse equal the heartbeat of crypto. Well, the Hex community kind of chose it. Are we going to pump today? I never know. So, I don't know. What's up, Richard? Always eager to hear what you got to say. Thanks, man. I'll try and go through these questions quicker because I'm like 20 minutes behind now. Was your interview with Peter McCormick staged? I still cannot believe how egregiously obnoxious he was towards you. It was so rude, only mates could get away with that. It was very rude, yes. Well worth the watch. Will EIP 1559 cause any technical issues for eHEX? I don't think so. I think it should be okay. Man, I can move my arms. This is so beautiful. Oh, and all it took was one pillow. Hexkins will be partying at Aladdin's harem after Magic Carpet Ride. Did Aladdin have a harem? I don't think he did. Get rid of the caps on the title, bad SEO. I didn't invent this idea, dude. So I took this idea from other people that are successful in the space. If they stop ranking well, I'll switch. So if you want to message me at t.me/RichardHeart and document for me that this idea no longer works, I'll remove the caps. We running these crypto streets. Can we get a castle tour? Thank you for working on your potty mouth, watching with my son. I'm doing pretty good at it. I haven't cursed yet on this stream. How does it feel to be the king of Broward County, Richard? I definitely was not the king of Broward County. Thoughts on privacy and XMR? I think that privacy is a human right, and that there should be more things to help the humans get the rights they used to have. Brand new to crypto and just found your channel. How do I buy HEX? You could go to hex.com/buy and stake. One word. It's really 3 words, but with no spaces. That's the best advice I got for you. There's instructions there. Great job and thank you. If pHEX is fast and cheap, what's the value for eHEX in the future? Things in crypto tend to have value even if you don't want them to. So I wish people would stop overpaying for serial numbers loosely related to JPEGs, but that market's still thriving. So, I mean, to bet on things in crypto being valueless is a fool's bet because the silliest things maintain value. And so I can't really think of a reason that eHEX won't continue to be valuable. I think even if pHEX is a better network, I think you're going to have 2 valuable things. Richard, why don't you wear your cool watches? I do wear them, but I'm not curious what time it is right now. I know what time it is. I'm staring at a screen with the time on it. And truth be told, So there's eight watches here. There's one watch back here. So I could dig into this, pull it out, put it over here, and put one of these on. But I just don't feel like doing the work. So that's the answer there. The real answer is I don't feel like doing the work of maintaining 8 slots here so that I can free up one to put on my wrist. But now that you mention it, I really want to. So let's try an experiment. You know what? We'll take a vote from chat. Chat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Type in chat the number of the watch that you want me to put on, and I will put it on. And so whatever number I see scrolling by the most, that's the one I'm going to pick. Oh, I guess it's the one you're going to pick. Or you have picked. What will incentivize people to run validator nodes if it isn't profitable? If it's not profitable, there won't be any incentive unless, just like Bitcoin, everybody used to mine Bitcoin back when it had no value because they believed in it. And so I think even if there was absolutely no incentive to be a validator, I think that you're still going to see a lot of validators because they believe. So, I mean, also, if you look at Matic and BSC, you do make money as a validator. So I think it's going to be just fine. Do you have to fill out a form before you sacrifice, or can I just sacrifice the site? Depends. If you want to donate to a medical research charity, you need to airdrop. You need to email airdrop@sens.org. airdrop@sens.org. You need to mail them before you sacrifice if you want to support medical research. If you want to get more points, so you only get 75% of the points that way, but you may get a tax write-off. If you want to sacrifice the other way at Pulse.info, you're not going to get, you may not get a tax write-off because it's not a 501c3 registered charity, but you do get 100% points instead of 75%, and there is no form in that case. More info on Pulse, please. Sure. As soon as I pick my watch, I'll tell you guys all about Pulse. Do your bodyguards have Gucci uniforms? Nice. These questions. If somebody said something about connecting to go to hex.com, I think if you ever have a problem connecting to go to hex.com, just reset your Metamask and settings. So go into Metamask, click settings, advanced, and then there's like a reset Metamask option. What will the exchange be called? I'm still keeping that secret, but if they say yes, I'll tell you. Like if they say yes to the license, then I will tell you what it's called. I guess I'm going to scroll down to the numbers so that I can pick a watch here. 4, 1, 1, 1, 2. It's mostly ones. Everybody's with the ones. Everybody picked number 1. Everybody picked this bad boy right here. Well, I'm glad because that happens to be my favorite. Now, the jewelers, the watch guys hate it when I put these on while I'm already wearing a ring. Because after you do that a couple thousand times, it leaves a scratch, This is a $250,000 watch. Rolex GMT-Master 2 SARU, which means sapphires and rubies. Diamond dial, sapphire ruby bezel, diamond bracelet, rose gold. It's a nice watch. I had to return one of my watches to get it serviced, which is like irritating. This is going to look silly. This is going to look really silly. Here comes the silliness, everybody. There we go. Wind it up. Get spinning. Bracelet. Generate electricity. To troll, I was going to put an Apple Watch in there once, but I never got around to it. Now it looks silly, but I feel fancy. Audience, you asked and you received. All right, I'm going to scroll back up a bit here. How does Pulse Wallet know where my money is coming from if it didn't ask me to register anywhere? Well, I'm glad you asked that question. The way the sacrifice points are known is on EVM networks, which are account-based, such as Ethereum, Ethereum Classic, TRX, Theta, AVAX. On those networks, it's just public. Everyone can look at the blockchain and see that there's one address that sacrifices on the network go to, and that here's all the addresses that sacrificed. So it's public. It's easy. Subnetworks are harder. UTXO-based networks that are not account-based, such as Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Cardano, Monero, Litecoin, Dogecoin. Those systems, you're tracked because you get a unique address to sacrifice to, and you're the only one that got that address. And so when you use your Metamask to connect and tell it your address, it knows that this index number in this list of addresses is tied to you. So that's the link there. So for UTXO-based systems, you're getting a unique address. For EVM-based systems, account-based ones, it's just public. And then for memo-based systems, such as EOS, I think XLM, XRP, you're including in the memo your index, and your index is just which one of those indexes has saved the address that you want. And so when you click on the tab that like generates that address, it gives you a memo, and then it ties your address to that memo, and then that's how the tracking happens. So memos, unique addresses, and just being public on EVM chains is the answer to how the tracking is done. Do the curls get the girls? I love my hair. Never comb it, never brush it, never blow dry it. I just wake up and it looks like this. It's awesome. It's really great. The first purchase I've ever done on Uniswap was yesterday, and it was HEX. I also state tax never staked anything like that before other than just on a regular exchange. It was really easy. Not sure that you typed that right, but I'm glad you enjoyed Uniswap. And I'm glad you enjoy HEX. Hi, Richard. New question. PLS won't exist on the ETH network like ETH doesn't exist on Pulse, or will there be ePulse? Yes, you will have eETH, or you will have pETH on the Pulse network, bridged. And if someone wants to, they could bridge the other way too, and you could have ePulse on the Ethereum network. So I know that you will have pETH on the Pulse network that is bridged Ethereum. And so you lock Ethereum on one side in the bridge, which releases it on the other side. And then you can do all the trading and stuff you want to do. And then when you want, you can just put it back here, and then it releases back on the other side. That's how bridges work. Lock, unlock. Destroy, release. So you lock it, it creates a representation. You return the representation, it gets destroyed, and it re-releases the original. That's what bridges do. How can you stake PulseChain once it's launched? Will be similar to how you stake HEX? No, it's different. You'll see soon when the public testnet launches. You can also see screenshots of those screens. So this validator screens where you can choose where your validator is, and if you're a validator, you can see how well your setup's been running. So you can see those screenshots at t.me/PulseChainCom. And if you go through the pinned messages, of which there are many, one of them will be those pictures of those screens. But, you know, hopefully this next week you'll just be able to actually test using it on the public testnet. Your average stream count has doubled. Nice. That's great. Smash the like. Yeah, guys. Click like. Click subscribe. Click the bell that makes it notify you all the time. And follow me on Twitter. Twitter.com/RichardHeartWin. Really helps. It really helps both of us because I share some really good information that could change your life. I'm worth a follow. Resetting MetaMask doesn't wipe your wallet to a new one, does it? It doesn't, but it does wipe your transaction history. So if you want to save your JSON logs so that you can like try and pick through your history later, you can export your JSON logs out of MetaMask, and it contains like all that history stuff. It is a nightmare to try and manually read through, but it's better than nothing. You could also just leave that old broken account and just open up a new browser. So like if you're a Chrome user, you can click add user, and it's going to give you a brand new browser, and then you can install a new MetaMask on that browser and just use the same seed words. And then as you want to create new accounts, you have to click add account, and it will recreate accounts in the same order with the same keys and the same addresses. It's a little stupid that you have to just click add account a million times depending on how many accounts you have. And that would allow you to keep your old broken MetaMask for transaction history, and then you would also have your new MetaMask to actually do transactions on. So that's a viable way to do things. Any comment on the taxable implications in the US of sacrificing to the Pulse cause? Is there a limit before causing a taxable event? I am not a lawyer. I am not an accountant. I will still try and tell you the best that I know. Most countries tax you on receiving stuff, not spending stuff. If you spend stuff, you're usually not taxed. There are some exceptions to that, like gift tax. So if you give someone a gift, they try and bang you for the recipient's tax. A little weird. A little weird. Don't know what's going on with that. And these laws are different depending on where you live. So to the best of my knowledge, you're never taxed on using your money. Now you could say if you were buying something like a candy bar and there's a sales tax, well then you may have incurred sales tax, but this isn't a purchase. You're not buying anything. So consult your legal professionals. Do your own research, contact your own lawyer, contact your own accountant. I am not a professional of that sort. Can you tell us the model names of your Rolexes? Sure. These are GMT-Master 2s. This is a Platona, Platinum Daytona, Baguette Dial. This is a Presidential Day Date. This is a two-tone Zenith Daytona. This is a Patek Philippe 5726 stainless, and this is a two-tone Patek Philippe 5980 chronograph, and that's a two-tone Submariner Blueface. This is also a GMT-Master 2. And if you look at my other videos, I have both the model numbers and prices of all these watches listed. I deleted all that stuff for this video for luck. If you go to my other videos, you can see those things. And see the boxes and see videos about how these things are made. Hey Richard, are you really as rich and as cool as I think you are? I hope so. Do you need a pilot for your G750? In my world, you're describing a mouse, not a plane. Will people in the US be able to use your exchange even if you're registering in the EU? I don't know. My gut feeling is no. So I'm going to go with no, but we'll see. How much is that worth? These is like $1.1 million of watches, I think. It's definitely more than a million, for sure. What's my favorite ring? This one. White gold, diamonds, SI Clarity, GH Color. The diamonds on this are better. Like you can see that they're just kind of whiter. So these are flawless diamonds. These are small inclusions. I mean, they're just whiter, man. So These go from D to G maybe, and these are like G to H, so these are like darker. Did I get my monster truck? Not yet, man, but we're close. We are close. Talk more about the rose gold watch. Some people hate it when I talk about this stuff, so we did enough watch stuff, I think. If you really want to know about these, just click one of my other videos, one of my other recent videos, and there's a video on how this watch is made. Really, it's this watch, but it's the same thing, nearly. Like, it's just, I've got white gold, rose gold, yellow gold versions of the same watch. Richard Vitalik sent you a congratulations on launching Pulse Yet. What about all your contributions and donations to charity? I don't think he has yet, but we're also haven't launched mainnet yet, so let's do that. Is your bear for sale? No. Can you explain how we can stop DeFi from being illegal? HEX is my whole livelihood. Well, you know, every once in a while the government tries to pass a silly law, and then you have to step up and contact your congressmen, which are your representatives and your senators, to let them know how you feel. And so there's a group in the United States which tries to protect our rights as blockchain users called Coin Center. And there are lawyers in the cryptocurrency space like Jake Chervinsky that write thoughtful text to try and get these government people to do better things for the United States and do better things for its citizens and not harm their citizens and not screw America's competitiveness in the world. And so check out Coin Center. I think it's coincenter.org. Check out Jake Chervinsky. And then, you know, I tweeted some representatives that you might want to call, you might want to focus on. And so go through my most recent tweets at twitter.com/RichardHeartWin. I think 2 days ago I made those tweets. Or, you know, maybe Jake Chervinsky sends less tweets than I do. And then you've got politics is a contact sport. So you have to contact, mail, physically mail, and call the people that are in the power of the be to change the things the way that need to be changed instead of the way that they shouldn't be changed. There's no magic. It's the hard work of politics. Do staked ERC-20 coins get Pulse version 2? Yes. Or just in the Metamask wallet? Metamask doesn't matter. Like, if it's on the Ethereum network, it's getting forked with very few exceptions. I'll just talk about Pulse real quick, so you guys maybe wear my cool watch. Pulse is the world's largest airdrop, which creates the most number of new coins at once that have ever been created before, which hopefully will make Ethereum more valuable by reducing its fees, which is more secure than Bitcoin, faster than Ethereum, more secure than BSC, more secure than Matic. Matic has an admin key. They could freeze everyone's money forever at will with no time delay. There's like $8 billion sitting in there at risk. Cryptocurrency was invented to get rid of middlemen and counterparty risk. Matic is a giant counterparty risk. BSC has twice the attack surface. So, you know, burning 25% of the fees, not having any inflation, not having miners dumping the price every day to pay for electricity to pollute the environment because we use proof of stake instead of proof of work, having a superior staking system to Ethereum 2.0, which we're trying to build, with battle-tested software that people have already lost hundreds of millions to how to figure out how to use it right. This software is safer to use than Ethereum 2.0, which is likely to have bugs and they'll need to get fixed. So we're beating Ethereum 2.0 to market with a superior value proposition. We've got a better staking setup that enhances decentralization. You hold your keys and delegate, whereas in their system, you just give your keys to other people and they lose them, and over $100 million has already been lost that way. It's terrible design. Terrible design. I think they also still inflate. So I think even when, yeah, I'm pretty sure they still inflate. So I think Ethereum 2.0 still has inflation, and that's how they pay miner rewards. But in our system, there is no inflation. So I think, and we burn 25% of fees. So I think that the price economics, now don't quote me, I'm not totally sure that there's inflation in ETH 2.0. I'm not totally sure. So I would say I'm 70% sure. Superior design, game theory, more secure software, getting to market quicker, you're better, like everything is just better. So I think Pulse is going to be better than Ethereum 2.0, which is funny. Like, it shouldn't be, but it is designed to be. So like, they just didn't do the design that well in Ethereum 2.0. I wasn't in the Ethereum community when they were coming up with it. Otherwise, I might have been able to help them design it better. What's the APY for staking Pulse? Nobody knows yet, because nobody knows how much validators will make. So it's not knowable yet. Is there any updates to the Nugget News Alex Saunders drama? Yeah, he doesn't tweet anymore, and apparently there's tons of people suing him, and he jacked hundreds of people for millions of dollars and then just sent it all to FTX and likely lost it. So he screwed up about as bad as you could screw up. He came to the Lion's Den and died. Will you call the top of the bull trap? Sure. I mean, look, if we hit $3,600 Ethereum and $50,000 Bitcoin, I'll tell you right there, this is likely to be the top of the bull trap. But we could have already had the top. Like, it could have already happened. There's no set in stone, you have to bounce this much. These are just guesses you're making. Hey Richard, are you human or superhuman? It's a great question. I'm not sure. Richard, how much of a person's net worth do you recommend being invested in crypto? I don't do financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I will tell you that for everyone that bought HEX on January 5th of last year, and in a year and a half went up 385,000% before staking, and 600,000% plus with staking, they probably wish they had went in harder on that day. So how much would you have liked a 4,000x? Yeah. Good luck figuring out how much of your resources to allocate. Is there going to be an interface similar to go.hex.com for staking HEX on Pulse? Yes. The same one. It's be the same site. I'm in desperate need of a job. I'd like to help you with your other channels. Thanks. I don't recognize you, bro. I hate when people that just appear in the community like start demanding power. Hey, I just got here. Can I have power over other users? No. Who are you? That was truly an uplifting pillow. Nice. Will there be pWETH and pWBTC on Pulse? Yeah. I mean, Richard, I've never seen you rattled. Never seen you any other way than how you are now. Were you like this when they pulled a gun on you? Yeah, I guess. Do you think Cardano is built on false promises? A little bit. I mean, they've been saying they're going to have smart contracts for years. They don't. And I personally tried to adopt Cardano, and did to a degree for this sacrifice phase. And it's trash. The docs aren't correct. There's things that aren't documented. There's things that are documented improperly. It's not good. It was a miracle to be able to get it to work, basically, because their community was not helpful, unfortunately. So my devs had to figure it out on their own. Luckily, my devs are really smart. This guy's obviously smart and a free thinker, but I'm still super skeptical. Sus. Gonna be interesting to watch how I'll develop. How late are you, man? Hi, I'm Richard Hart. Go to richardheart.com and see how I called the top at 20,000 at the end of 2017. How I predicted the 20,000 4 months earlier when the price is 4,000. How I called the top on the day at 65,000. How I called 60,000 2 years earlier on stage in Malta. I'm awesome. I have free self-help books. I've given out millions and millions of dollars of free coins. I designed the world's largest airdrop. I've been retired for 20 years, a self-made millionaire. I was a retired millionaire 6 years before Bitcoin was even invented. You might want to learn about who you're watching. I'm awesome. So, congratulations on your being suspect. Good for you. Most people on the internet, I don't know, are most people on the internet scams? Probably not. But in crypto, there's a lot of them. So, good job being suspicious or whatever. But I've been an awesome person for a couple decades now. Any stablecoins without admin keys? There probably are. I just don't know any off the top of my head. But I'm sure there are. Richard, no financial advice, but should I sacrifice additional HEX on the last day despite the current rate decline, or price decline of HEX, I guess he means? Or should I wait for the possible price pullback after launch? I have no idea, man. I mean, if you want to talk about price, I think t.me/HEXTrading is a cool spot, but like, I don't know really. Is there any update on the Nuggets news? I did that one. If this is a bull trap, how long should it take to play out from this point until it crashes back down? I mean, I published a chart when I called the top of last cycle overlaid on this cycle. And so just look at that chart. That's the best clue I can give you currently. Do you like Richard Mills watches? No, I don't, but I'm going to buy one anyway just to leech their audience. So I'll probably get an AP and a Richard Mill, even though I don't like them that much, just so that other people that do like them like me more. Maybe they'll grow on me. Who knows? Can I sacrifice from Exodus wallet? Yes. I only have $1,000 to invest. Is it worth it? Not a financial advisor, man. But if 4,000x return seems cool to you, I bet you could figure it out. Knowing the validator's best interest is to behave well, could a validator slash your stake anyway if they wanted to? No. They can't. Validators don't have the ability to just do those things. They don't have that power. They have the ability to include transactions or not. They don't have the ability to like hack stuff. You guys want to go viral? Start clicking the like button. All right. Thanks for the reminder, bro. Hey Richard, is there a YouTube video that shows me how to do what you're saying? Yes. Hexologist made videos on how to sacrifice and videos on how to do everything basically. So go check out Hexologist. Got HEX, don't know how to stake it. Tried on Metamask, don't understand. The HEX isn't SafePal. I think SafePal is like a hardware wallet. I don't know about SafePal, man. You might want to switch to something that we know how it works. I don't know. Go ask in chat. Go in t.me/hexcrypto and ask. Ignore all the scammers that direct message you. Ignore all the imposters that direct message you. Lovely chat, 25,000 people in there, but beware of the scammers. You ever been snowboarding? Yes, I fell on my butt. Richard, can you please set up a chat with Francis in the crypto lifestyle community? He was the first person to defend HEX when everyone else was fudding it. He said so during a live a few days ago. Well, man, you know, I tweeted before I did this stream. I said, does anyone with a high follower count want to come on? And I didn't see anyone with a high enough count. So maybe you should have responded quicker. Hey, Richard, sold my entire bag of ETH that I've been holding for years for HEX. Better late than never. Sounds cool. How far away are we from being able to do swaps from one chain to another chain? There was a project that was doing it, and it got the living crap hacked out of it through multiple vectors. So that project is probably screwed for a good while. Maybe we're a year out from like a reliable way to do that. I mean, you can do that now from Bitcoin to, you can do that now for Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash to Ethereum using bridge.renproject.io. That's REN project.io. So you can do multi-chain swap stuff now. They support Zcash, but there's no liquidity. Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin, they might have supported one other thing, but I can't remember it. But I think they support those three. Dude, I love your demeanor and energy. So intelligent as well. I'm hooked. Thanks. I appreciate the kind words. I really do. Because I assure you, there's a lot of not kind words out there. Richard, you should allow donations. YouTube likes to see that stuff, even if you're a saint. Huh. Yeah. I don't want the money, but I do want YouTube to treat me nicer. So I'll consider it. 40K sacrifice wallets. Yeah, last I looked, I think there was like 41K, but they're just measuring the ETH chain. And we've had a lot of sacrifices across all the other chains too. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that there was 50,000 plus participants in the sacrifice phase. And I don't even know how many came in that were unique to the SENS Foundation. I never asked that number. I just got totals on like donation quantity, like dollar value. I didn't get user count. Any NFTs on Pulse blockchain in the future, it's literally the same code, bit for bit identical. So whatever you had on ETH, you're going to have on Pulse. You had NFTs on ETH, same code access right here on the Pulse network. So in theory, you could have your NFTs on 2 chains now. Enjoy. Double the trouble, double the fun. Are you thinking of moving your audience to other platforms? I already answered that earlier. Scroll back. Thanks for explaining bridges. Hey, my pleasure, man. Any ideas that you would want third-party developers to create for Pulse? Yes, numerous. Maybe tomorrow I'll tweet about what they are and start accepting resumes. Look, I'll give you a quick rundown. Metamask replacement. 1inch.io replacement. Probably going to have to do some dev stuff for the exchange if the license is approved. I would like to still see improvements that go to hex.com. Why don't we have a chart showing future expiring stakes there instead of people having to go to hex.vision to see it? Because then they could slot their end stakes where less people are end staking. I think that'd be an awesome addition. What else? There's so many things. So many things. So I got big dreams. How scary was it for you when YouTube ganked your account for a couple hours? Not like you can tell exactly my emotional response because I was still on the other guy's stream. We were streaming on 2 streams at once. So mine died, but his stayed up. I just expect this stuff. I expect to be treated poorly on the internet. So when I get treated poorly, it just matches my expectations. Are we SOL if we have ERC-20s on exchanges? Yeah. I think so. I think the exchange will have credit and you won't unless you beg them for it. How do you like begging? I'm not in crypto to beg. I don't like it. Who's your favorite American comedian? Bill Burr. The Louis Vuitton Don, thanks. Do you still think Bitcoin will go to 10K? Sure, over the next 9 months, I think so. Hey, look, I make more money if I'm wrong. I'm not short, you know? I'm not going to make money when Bitcoin goes down in value, but it usually does this. This is exactly what it usually does. So until it starts doing things that are new and weird, I'm just going to stick with the same playbook. I mean, it's doing slightly different things. Like it's still pretty compliant in my opinion. People keep asking me like how much of their net worth to put in. I'll tell you this again. The price went up 4,000x. How much of your net worth did you wish that you put in? I'm not a financial advisor. Go get your own professional financial advice. I'm still confused on how the Pulse distribution will go when a person sacrificed XRP. The memo is used. When you use Metamask to connect to Pulse.info, it knows your address, and you could type one in. And then in a database, it ties your address to the memo that it issues you, and then whoever has access to that database can see that when something came in on XRP to that memo, it credits that address that was tied together in that database. Now that's not public yet, but it probably should be made public so that everyone can audit and validate this stuff. But if there's a way to do that public with a zero knowledge proof and still prove that everything was done right and then allow people to maintain anonymity, I think that would be awesome. So I want to look at the zero knowledge angle before publishing stuff. I discovered you from Alex Saunders, but I'm interested in HEX. Is what he's saying about it all being locked and hard to sell accurate at all? No. Everything he said was a lie, and he is a liar. So, go. I don't... Unfortunately, it takes 10 units of effort to disprove the 1 unit of effort it takes to make false statements. So it's asymmetrically unfair. So one person says something silly, and then it takes you 10 times as long to convince people how silly it is. I don't feel like doing that convincing. You can see the conversation that we had. I destroyed him on Livestream. So you can just watch everything I said there instead of me saying it again here. What mic do I use? This is a Shure SM7B on a cloud lifter because it's very unsensitive. So you either have to have a ton of gain in your preamp or use the cloud lifter to boost it. Any opinion on the safety of the UST stablecoin? I have no idea, bro. None. Sorry. Are any exchanges going to support the airdrop? I don't know. Didn't even think about it, actually. What's the #1 reason people hate on you, Richard? For some people, it's the big boobs. For other people, it's the extreme confidence, which some people confuse for conceitedness or, I don't know, there's a bunch of other mean words for that behavior. Maybe it's the materialism with my $1 million of watches and brands everywhere. I don't know. People hate everybody. If you put a video of a dog, a puppy playing in a field, you're going to get dislikes on the video. So as long as you live in a world where people dislike absolutely anything and everything, you are going to be hated if people detect you exist. And then even if people can't detect you exist, they hate the idea of you. So it's like, you know, but it's a good deal. So, okay, let's say someone hates one of the projects I invented. Can they sell it? No, because they didn't buy it. So hate away, you know? Does, like, it's funny. Yes, you get all the ERC20s, 99.9% of them. Doesn't matter whether they're in MetaMask or not, because they're on the blockchain. The blockchain is getting forked. Richard, can you get with a lawyer of some kind discussing tax legality? No, because I have absolutely no interest in talking about that stuff at all. You go talk about stuff that sucks somewhere else. I want to talk about stuff that's cool and fun. Is that the Liberace old piano candelabra? Richard, will be allowed to transfer our free Pulse into our hardware wallets, or do we have to leave it on MetaMask? It's literally the same stuff. Like, I think it will just work. I don't think you need to do anything. Richard, my mom just read my message. I think this is the guy that his mom wanted to bring me to dinner. Well, t.me/RichardHeart. I like the new RichardHeart, more polite and no cursing. I'm trying, man. There's a whole world of cursing going on inside. People say such silly things. Here's someone that says something silly. Mr. YR space P. Spending crypto in US is a taxable event. Oh yeah? Jerkwad? Let's see how taxable it is. I don't think that's a curse word, by the way. You buy Ethereum at 4,400. You then use it to buy something. The price when you do that is 3,000. You're down about a third on your investment. Or let's call it 25%. What's your taxable event, smart guy? Huh, smart guy? You gonna get taxed on your loss, smart guy? Nah, you just don't know what you're talking about. Stop talking trash, bro. You don't know what you're talking about. Now, had you been in profit, the calculus is different. But making a blanket statement that spending crypto is a taxable event is very, very, very silly. So, stop being silly, bro. I freaking love this, man. I reorganized my entire life around HEX, and now with Pulse coming, sky's the limit. Thanks a million, brother. Thank you, man. What high school did you go to? I went to Nova High School in Davie, Florida. And then I graduated a year early and went to early admissions instead of my senior year. So I could go to college for free. Yay. And not waste my senior year doing silly stuff. You guys got some funny comments in here. Yeah, about the Discord server, that's a good idea. Thanks, Jake. Jake Brighting. We'll try and remember that. Is the market value of HEX equal to the total amount of fiat that was put into it? No, that's not how markets work. And as a side note, does the same hold true for Bitcoin? No, that's not how market works. If you overpay value, price is what you pay and value is what you get. Just because you pay more for something doesn't change the value you get usually. There are some exceptions called Veblen goods where the value of something goes up as it costs more, such as social signaling things. Like, look, I overpaid for watches that don't tell time right. Or look, I overpaid for bags that don't have enough pockets in them. Things like that. So other than Veblen goods, there's actually another class that's similar to Veblen good, the name I can't remember right now. But in general, price is what you pay, value is what you get. Are you going to become the first richest person in the world who hasn't created a corporation? I don't know, man. I've started 20 different corporations. So, like, I don't know. NFTs in the Pulse blockchain in the future, it starts with all the same stuff Ethereum has, 99.9%. Come on, guys. Why ask him to talk about watches? He has a billion times over. It's like a broken record. Yeah, man, but, you know, some people are new here, you know? So it's worth, like, giving them a little heads up. Wow, I am so far behind on the chat. My lord. My lord. I'm behind, like... Well, I'm not behind that much. It's only 10 minutes, but you guys are typing a lot. How do you think people lose money on crypto call groups? Slowly and then all at once. Are you all in or holding more cash for a drop? I can tell you that if you do chain analysis to see what whales are doing, and for instance, you wanted to look at the sacrifice address, when I look at the sacrifice address on the Ethereum network, it seems to dump every ERC20 it gets except HEX. That's what I've seen. Now, you must have no expectation of profit from the work of others. I'm just telling you what I see on chain. So it seems like whatever may control the sacrifice keys is a fiat stablecoin maximalist, except for HEX. It has a lot of HEX, it has a lot of stablecoin. That's what I see. Richard, please say hi to my girl D. I think she loves you more than me. Lol. Hey, that rhymes. And hey D, how you doing? Shane Phillips. Funny comment. Who have I destroyed? Oh, numerous people. Numerous. Many, many, many. Alex Saunders, Peter McCormick, that guy that looked like a raccoon from Australia that was a Bitcoin maximalist. Can't remember his name. Safe Space Safedin's got me blocked. Nassim Taleb's got me blocked. Zero Hedge's got me blocked. Cointelegraph, Coindesk blocked. I lay the truth on people, man. And some people, they get hurt by it. So if you don't like the truth, you don't like me. I mean, this is just a trail of bodies, man. Some guy bet me like 50K before 30K. I won. We went right down to 30 7 days later. Like, I murder people on stream, man. RichardHeart, we're working on an ERC-20 project, but it won't be finished before Pulse launch. So how do you going to integrate the new project in Pulse after the launch? You would just take the same code that you launched on the Ethereum network and then launch it anew at a new contract address on the Pulse network. Then you would have your same code in two places. Instead of being carried over by a fork at the same address, you'll just issue it at a new address. And in theory, you might be able to issue it at the same address actually as well. You might not even need a new address. But you will have to deploy it again if you don't make the fork. Any benefits Tendermint or Polkadot have? I mean, the Tendermint guys are trying to do like cross-chain swap stuff, but I don't think it's there yet. And Polkadot, not really. I mean, look, if we didn't integrate it, there's a very good chance that it sucks because it was too hard to use. So like we looked at Solana, we looked at Polkadot, and it was just too hard to allow it to be sacrificed. So that is not good for them. Why your man's on here mad flexing everything expensive he owned, lol? Because I want people to engage on YouTube to give me free engagement so the algorithm likes me more. Thank you for the free engagement, player hater, sir. Please bring more later. Yes, in fact, most of the successful influencers in the world flex the crap that they own because they get more viewers that way. So I tried it the old way with not flexing so much, and it looks like the new way works better. That's how we do science. I've been retired for 20 years, dude. I could have flexed for a long time. And if you think I'm flexing now, you're going to hate it when my next 8 watch winder shows up, and it's on this side, and it's filled up with more expensive ones, and then there'll be a few $1 million of stupid wasted money here. Boy, that'll really make you mad. Any thoughts on KuCoin's new DEX? KuCoin got hacked. You like stuff that gets hacked? I don't like stuff that gets hacked. It's really that easy. How can I take advantage of this airdrop? Go hang out in PulseChainCom on Telegram. t.me/PulseChainCom. This is a bull trap. How long should it take to play out before it crashes back down? We might have already had the top. This could have been the top of the bull trap already, or maybe it'll go up to 50, or maybe it'll just make me wrong and stop doing what it normally does and just go to $1 million. I'd make more money if it did that. I'd be happy to see that. But I just tell you probabilistically what I think is most likely. Why is it doing that? Am I hitting the wrong button? I love how you're so adamant about your opinion and dedication, Rich. Sincerity is a huge browning point. Browning point? Isn't that when you cook meat? Whether you are bright or not. And then he misspelled weather as well. I don't know, man. Your comment's got some errors in it, brother. I think you raise more love than money. Thanks, Richard. And then a whole bunch of hearts. Thank you, Maxine. Maxime. Probably a dude. I was hoping that was an N. Richard, you're definitely conceited, but I still think you're right most of the time. Thank you. I'm fat and old, but funny and rich. I know what I am. I have no disillusions. I just measure myself accurately. What was your estimate on how many dollars would be sacrificed if you had one? I thought that this would be the range pretty much. Like, I think we'll still end up with more. I mean, the final day is coming. Like, so. Sure SM7B is like $400 and you need a professional interface or controller. But you can get its younger brother, which is more user-friendly, the Shure MV7. My setup's awesome, dude. But if that helps someone else watching, cool. Where do you find the time to learn all this, man? I just read constantly. I'm always learning, always reading. I mean, right now I'm still reading your comments. I loved a video of you at a conference explaining the faults of Bitcoin and what could be done. Thanks, man. The 13 dislikes bought the top. That's an extremely low number of dislikes, so wow, that's crazy. People throw rocks at things that shine. That's a good saying. I never heard that one before. Good point, man. Let's talk about MEV on Pulse. I think, so there's a guy, a YouTuber in here, and he does mining videos, and he just asked what's going on with MEV on Pulse. I think that there's going to be a lot of, I think there's basically when new chains launch, they attract people with profitable strategies on other chains that they don't work on anymore. So front-running bots became less profitable on Ethereum because flash bots allowed them to get harvested. And so the bots would actually lose money when they were trying to like steal from other users and give them worse prices by sandwich attacking them. So until you have a flash bots equivalent on Pulse, I think that you'll have more sandwich bots in the AMMs. And so it's vital to counteract that, to make sure that you're using reasonable slippage settings like 0.5% in the Uniswap interface, which is going to be the default on any of the ones that I make. And then I think over time, the ecosystem will attract flash bots where the validators can communicate in a non-public manner to help prevent some of the sandwich botting. So basically, I think that there's going to be a lot of opportunity on Pulse for strategies that aren't as successful. So like guys that were making really good money in ETH, that stopped working, then they were making really good money in Matic and BSC, and then that stopped working, and now I think you'll see a lot of those guys switch over to Pulse until it stops working there. So that's where we're at. It's more important that we get to market earlier than it is that we try and hack in an MEV Geth instance for validators to run to allow the flashbot stuff to happen. You know, Ethereum worked just fine for the many years before flashbots were a thing. So flashbots is not related to flash loans. They're different, and it's too hard for me to explain. Well, it's not too hard. I'll do it. Right now, if you want to mine a transaction on Ethereum, you have to publicly declare to the Ethereum network what transaction you want to do and what you're willing to pay for it to be mined. And so what was invented was a side channel communication by which you could present an encrypted blob of transactions that you wanted to have processed. And then the miner would see the value of your blob and its bid and the amount of gas it would consume. And then it ranks the amount of value for gas so that the people that are willing to pay the most for the space get the highest ranking. And that helped reduce the fees on Ethereum to a degree because you had a side channel to do bidding instead of, you know, bidding it up publicly. So that's what Flashbots do. And it is progress, and it does reduce miner extracted value. But it's not where you start. That's stuff you transition to. I mean, there's other things I'm going to transition to as well that may make things even more awesome, but I don't want to give away, let the cat out of the bag. Hope that answers your MEV question. The vast majority of users have no idea what any of those words I just said mean, so we confuse the users, yay. Can you please direct to the resources of how banks don't need to lend the money deposited to them, and it's a liability instead of an asset? Sure, just literally Google, do banks lend out my money? And you will find responses on Quora.com and investing.com and all over the place. You'll see everybody saying the same stuff. So just Google it. But I should add that to RichardHeart.com because I like the things that are unique that I spread that other people don't. I like the stuff that I invented and am popularizing that the rest of the world is just ignorant to. I feel it makes me a thought leader. How do you feel about your Mitch Ray appearance? That was good. Everyone liked it. You really shined a BitBoy stream the other week. You reamed them a new one. It was nice of him to have me on. People hate on those more intelligent than they are. Tall poppy syndrome. Love you, Richard. Thanks, man. PulseChain is going to skyrocket to another tangent. Not the right word, I don't think, but I understand what you mean. Tangent doesn't mean what you think it means. Tangent describes a vector, a direction. It doesn't describe a distance. So you might have meant to the moon, which is like considered to be far away, or Saturn, which is even farther and has a big hexagon on top of it. So tangential just means perpendicular to. Somebody in here is quoting advanced tax terminology. 1031 exchange he's talking about. I don't feel like talking about this stuff, man. Cool theory you got going there, though, man. I read that Bitcoin will soon have smart contracts. Ah! Is that what you read? Yeah. Good joke, bro. Is that true? No. Sorry. Lol. Richard, this is a bull trap. How long should it take to play out? I answered that already. I'm pretty far behind now, aren't I? No, I'm 17 minutes behind. Sorry, guys. With global adoption in El Salvador giving out free Bitcoin to all its citizens, do you see a high chance for fraud? Bro, you're always going to have fraud in Central America, man. It's like, you know, it's going down there, bro. The police force has a lot of work to do. It's hard work. I don't really understand your question that much, though. I used to live in Central America, so I have a good idea what's up. What is the watch at the upper left corner? I'm wearing it now. Rose gold GMT-Master 2. Rolex. Richard, I consider you the modern day Nikola Tesla. Humanity first. Thanks, man. When he shakes his head like that, I wonder what he's reading. Well, I mean, we're reading the same chat, so if you read the same chat I did, you should be shaking your head the same, I guess. Thoughts on digitizing physical assets to excess liquidity? Sounds okay. How about Bitcoin but anonymous? You have Tornado.cash for Ethereum. You have Wasabi Wallet for Bitcoin. You have Monero. If they have fixed that bug that makes anything that you received and then sent within an hour not anonymous, that That's the best tech out there for anonymity in crypto I know of currently. And of those three, the weakest would be the Wasabi, because you're hoping the anonymity set isn't just all really the same guy, and they're just looking at you like, haha, we know who you are because we're all just the same guy. So you thought you were mixing, but really we're just the same guy and looking at you funny. That's why zero knowledge proofs are a superior way to do anonymity, to ring signatures and mixing anonymity sets. RichardHeart, what should we do with our Pulse once we get it? Will we be able to stake it? Yes, you will be able to. I don't know what you should do with it. You have to decide that for yourself, sir. What if ETH stables don't nuke P stables? That would be pretty awesome. If your $1,000 of USDC on ETH was also worth an extra $1,000 on Pulse, that would be pretty awesome. Like, wow, that would be cool. I hope that's the case. That would be so cool. Bring back Julia, the Russian bikini babe. She wasn't Russian. Can't remember what she was. I think she's Polish. Richard, my mom disliked you months ago, but I continued to talk about how great you are, and now she admires you. Thank you, SigHex. RichardHeart is on-ramping moms. Welcome aboard, ladies. Does everyone who sacrificed, no matter the amount sacrificed, get sacrifice points? Yes. As long as you did it in the right time. And the right stuff. I mean, I think the answer to your question is yes. You had to do some things very wrong for that to not be true. Thank you, RichardHeart, for exposing such a fraud and Alex Saunders. It's really amazing how petty human nature can be. Whatever you pay for the most of all, pay attention to RichardHeart. Thanks, man. Nice Richard pauses, takes a deep breath, and continues to educate the broke pleb. I like the nice Richard. It's growing on me. I'm trying. Hey Richard, what happens to sacrifices that were sent from an exchange? If they were memo based and the memo was included, or if they were UTX based and you sent to a unique address, you're fine. If it was EVM based like Ethereum, you're screwed, and the exchange will get credit, not you. Ever spend time in Clearwater? Nope. How difficult will it be for ETH dApps to move to Pulse? Extremely easily. Extremely easily. You just literally point your dApp to another server. And it's easy. Well, I mean, I say it's easy, but then I go to HEX.com, because it's a more advanced business logic, you run into questions like, okay, there's a price chart. Should the pHEX price chart show the past prices of eHEX as though it were continuous? I'm not sure. I don't know. Like there's these design decisions that you run into that you're just like, okay, this is a whole new world, right? And there's this mind-blowing things that happen once you think about this multi-chain world that I'm creating, and it's really interesting. So I don't have all those answers yet. For most people, it's going to be extremely easily done. But for things that are more advanced business logic like HEX, you have to make some decisions. Like, Davey had such a great pizza place by Nova. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Now I'm hungry. Thanks. I lost like 12 pounds. I'm 250.3 today. I started off at 253.5 or 0.8, something like that. So I've lost 13 pounds, I guess. 13, yeah. Tell me the story of your money necklace. This is one of my first company logos. This is the power to profit. Fist crushing money. Even back then, I was trying to help people become wealthy. Richard, I invested my life savings, $8,000. Make me a millionaire. What? I'm not doing any work for you, dude. None. You should expect no profit from the work of others. So don't ever say that again. What year to graduate? 98. Did you consider forking YouTube when you got jacked the other night? I'm busy on other stuff, but they could use some competition. So what do you think of Bitcoin Anonymous? Every Bitcoin fork that's supposed to be anonymous in general is a giant scam. So whatever you're talking about, it's probably a giant scam, dude. Will you create a coin similar to BNB once you get approved for your own exchange? I don't know. Thanks for bringing it up. I'll consider it. When Tornado Cash HEX? That already exists. So you can ask in chat and they'll link you to it. There's just no anonymity set because no one uses it, so it's pretty useless. If people began to use it and there was an anonymity set, then it would be useful. So set up Metamask to work with PulseChain and go and do the same thing as about setting up Polygon. Yeah, same stuff, just different addresses. Is there an all-encompassing introductory video for HEX and Pulse? Ask chat. Ask t.me/hexcrypto and t.me/PulseChainCom. I'm so far behind, I just lost a bunch of chat. I just deleted it, unfortunately. They don't keep, like... I'm only showing chat back 10 minutes now. You guys have typed so much. Somebody says they bought HEX on Atomic Wallet. Cool. Can you discuss the Pulse validator's reasoning? Wait till the public testnet's out, please. Then I'll explain it more, because then I'll have a chance to like use it, and then I can explain it better. Do you believe the rumors that Bitcoin will soon introduce dApps? No, not at all. Not even a little. No, I do not. Sorry, guys. You don't get DeFi. Wrecked. Other than Aubrey de Grey, do I follow any other anti-aging researchers? Yeah, I also follow the dude that... David Sinclair. I have Vitalik in a headlock, and he's covered in salami. Anything you want to say to him from you? Would you like some cheese with that, sir? Why is HEX going down? Bro, it goes down and it goes up. It's dipped 75% like 5 or 6 times. This is what it does. Dips are opportunities for people that bought the top to sell the bottom, and for people that bought the bottom to sell the top, and then value gets transferred. So volatility is a feature in HEX. It's not a bug. It's a feature. I will. You know what? For you, I'm gonna read you. I'm gonna read you something nice. Let's go to hex.com and click how it works. Pages, how it works, and let's scroll to this nice little piece of text here. All right, there's a lot of text here. Here we go. HEX is overperforming. That life-changing wealth creation comes with extreme price volatility. Many successful investors have had to withstand harsh price fluctuations. On its way to 2 million X returns in 7 years, the Bitcoin price dipped 94%, 95%, 81%, and 86%. And on some exchanges, it flash crashed as close to zero as possible. Amazon dropped 95% once too. Now it's 50% of all internet sales in the United States. In its first year, HEX's price has dipped 81%, 73%, 59%, 67%, 87%, and then gone on to make new all-time highs. Price dips are often opportunities for the impatient to give their money to the patient. HEX's large price movements up and down are a feature, not a bug. People that buy tops and sell bottoms hand their money to those that bought bottoms and sold tops. Notice that the HEX website tells you that prices will go up and down violently, while Bitcoin and Ethereum's websites do not. Which, by the way, there is a little part where they say that they move violently, but they don't tell you how much. They don't actually tell you 95% dips. HEX website's more honest. When the most important thing to users is price, what could be more important than discussing it? HEX is about realistic expectations. That's been on the website for months and months and months and months. That's if you type !dip in HEX crypto Telegram, it spits out that text. I've had these candles green before. They don't look as good. I like the red candles better because they balance this red that's behind me here, but I don't know, it's blocked by the watch winder now, so I just never liked the green candles. They didn't look good. You know, in Asia, it's actually backwards. So if you look at candlestick charts in Asia, red means up and green means down. Crazy, right? It's funny how that works. Bitcoin can be used as collateral for smart contracts? No, it can't. There's wrapped Bitcoin, which is fake Bitcoin, which is encapsulated Bitcoin, which has a counterparty risk with BitGo. They can just invalidate all the coins and not allow you to redeem. So you can, if you're okay with the counterparty risk, then yes, you can. But it's not really Bitcoin. It's wrapped Bitcoin, and it has counterparty risk, which is the opposite of why Bitcoin was invented, to get rid of counterparty risk. So yes, you are able to kind of like scale Bitcoin using Ethereum. The majority of Bitcoin scaling is from Ethereum, but you have to realize that it's slightly different. Somebody says you depend on fraud in Mexico. All right. Do you have a price expectation for Pulse in the next bull market? I do not make forward-looking price statements in things that I create. I will talk to you about Ethereum. I will talk to you about Bitcoin. I do not make forward-looking price statements in HEX. I do not make forward-looking price statements in Pulse. Rich, you don't like big face watches? I don't know, man. These are all 40 millimeter. What's wrong with 40 millimeter? I mean, I guess if I get an AP, it'll be like 41 or 42, probably. If I get a astronomy from Jacob, it'll be like 44 millimeters. PulseChain chat Telegram is ranked 12th most popular. Wow, that's crazy. It's really cool. Real users in there, man. Real users. Hey Richie, how are you? Love your honesty. I'm sacrificing for Pulse. Thank you. You're sacrificing for free speech, homie, or to support medical research. Enjoy your free Pulse, though. You also have your Theta. What's your opinion on Theta? I don't trust it, man. You got to install their private wallet that, like, you know, is only on mobile. Or maybe they've got some browser version that's like, I don't know, man. I don't trust it. I don't trust it at all. Can you please straighten your candles? No, I'm not fooling with it. Deal. Take paper and tape it to your screen and cover it up. Or use your hand. Or cover your eye. You fix it. I'm not doing it. Thoughts on Ravencoin? I liked when they had a 10% inflation bug and a hacker minted 10% of supply and dumped it on market about a year ago. I thought that was really funny. That's what I think about Ravencoin. Hacked. Lol. XMR is still anonymous. It was an issue with the decoy outputs. Amounts of the receiver and sender are still not observable. No, I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true at all. I think that if you spent your money within an hour of receiving it, that it was not anonymous. So I think you misread their CVE report. If you want to counteract me retweeting their bug report with new evidence, do so on Twitter. But I don't make this stuff up. Like, I just read the report. Hi Richard, could you please confirm the naming convention on PulseChain PERC-20. I would just call it a PRC-20, not a PERC-20, because the E there stands for Ethereum. Can I sacrifice fiat for my bank or debit card? Yes, if you email airdrop@sens.org. They accept stocks, they accept cash, they accept bank wires. Hurry up. The last sacrifice day is tomorrow. You've got like 24 hours plus maybe 3 hours. Richard is awesome. Thanks, man. Do you think Pulse will be an Ethereum killer? We want to help Ethereum reduce its fees. We don't plan to kill Ethereum. Do you have any Patek Philippe watches? Yeah, these bottom two. 5980, 5726. Can anyone tell me where I can find the chart Richard mentioned where he called the top and showed a potential bull trap? Sure. Go to RichardHeart.com, and in the middle of the page there, it says, Richard Heart called the top. And click it, and it's linked to the Twitter, and look at the timestamps. Please don't on-ramp my mom. She has a bad back. Nice. What's the most important thing What's the most important thing to you in life? Life itself. Kind of a cheating answer, isn't it? And for a guy that eats like I do, maybe I'm even wrong. But I've been eating healthy, man. I just lost 13 pounds. How will I be able to access the Pulse? Your keys just work. So you're just going to change some settings in Metamask. Will the value of pHEX be the same as eHEX? Nobody knows if you're talking about USD value. Will Tornado Cash be available on the Pulse network? I think it would be a nice value add. I hope that someone builds that, but it's not in. Minimum viable is Uniswap front end, HEX front end, working consensus network, and bridge to Ethereum. Those 4 things are minimum viable. So if there's a Tornado version, it's going to be later. You could always bridge to ETH and use their Tornado. So it's like you can still get anonymity. You just have to do it through the bridge. When building the hex ladder, do you recommend keeping the same amount each year? I mean, the best tip I have is just slot your end stakes where other people aren't ending stake. But I don't really have any unique insights in regards to like sizing. Maybe one day I should try and develop those. I haven't really thought about it. Why you shut up the haters and just say who has the origin address for HEX? You kind of dance around the subject and no one has the balls to ask. Okay. This user named DMT Nightmare is asking who owns the origin address. How many times have we been asked who owns the origin address? 50 million times. So let me ask you a question. Who's Satoshi? And how has that worked out for Bitcoin? Seems to have worked out just fine. So similar to how you don't know who Satoshi is, you don't know what, if anything, might the origin address be. If that makes you curious, that makes you want to do research, good. I will take the sticky engagement and the free views. Thank you. Was that dancing? Was it dancing with you there? Doesn't feel like I've been dancing. It feels like you're just really hungry for knowledge and you can stay curious. Any good crypto books you'd recommend? Nope. I know you're going to change my life. Just wanted to say thanks. Thank you, Dan. Richard will leave a Pulse hotline for me to call. This question is for the boomers in the chat. No. Ain't no support on the blockchain. Hop into chat, ignore the scammers that direct message you, and you can learn a lot. But there's no phone number for you to call. I'm unaware of that service for any cryptocurrency. I think it would be a nice service to have, but you're going to have to charge for it and bill by the hour. How stupid do YouTubers from 2 years ago calling HEX a fraud feel after missing out on the massive gains? Probably pretty stupid, I'd assume. Can I call you via phone and have a private conversation with you? Do you have $10 million that you're putting into something that I like? Maybe 5. I'll do a call with you for 5 million. So if you're going to put 5 million into something I like, I'll talk to you. That's what's up. You're buying 5 million ETH, you're buying 5 million Bitcoin, HEX, sacrifice, charity research. I'll do a private call with you. Hey Richard, can I just learn Solidity and use it to program on PLS? Yes, yes you can. Why would people buy eHEX instead of pHEX? I don't really know. We'll see how it works out. Maybe they, well, I don't know. Do you still operate a car stereo business? No. Do you have an approximate number of pulse per ETH during the airdrop for distribution to each ETH holder? It's 1-to-1. It's a 1-to-1. And it's freemium. It gets removed after 30 days. The value is deducted. So if you move those coins, but there's other coins there, that value will be deducted from them. Can you please send a shout out to my girl Alexis, a soon to be happy Pulsite? All right. What's up, Alexis? If we didn't include the memo on our XRP or XLM sacrifices, can we send a second micro sacrifice, including a memo, to link it in the database? I don't know. I don't know. I'll think about it. It's noticeable. You look great. Thanks, man. How tall am I? 6 foot. Do you have a price expectation for Pulse? Okay. I don't make forward-looking price statements, but I will tell you what's possible. When I said that HEX was designed to do a 10,000x when it was invented, it was because I just looked at what Ethereum did. Ethereum did a 10,000x, and we have superior game theory. So it was just a reasonable estimate of what was possible. Well, if Ethereum did a 14,000x, which it has so far, why can't something that's better? And so I think a 14,000x is a reasonable estimate for what could be possible for Pulse, because that's what Ethereum did. And this is a very similar thing, but better. So is that a probabilistic statement of what is the likelihood of that happening? No. Is this a timing statement as to when it might occur? Not really. I mean, I can tell you that Ethereum did its 10,000x in about 2.5 years. And its 14,000x, I guess it took maybe 6 years. So they're not forward-looking price statements, but they are statements as to what is possible. And similar statements seem to have worked out rather presciently for HEX. Maybe prescient isn't the right word because it involves prediction, but I think you should be allowed to speak to what is possible without having to endure locking yourself into a probability. What's the difference between Pulse and Solana? Everything. I mean, they're both consensus networks. It's about all they have in common, I guess. Can a project on BSC easily transfer to Pulse? Yes. I love people in chat be asking about my money. Stop asking about my money, guys. Watch your own wallets. I'm in crypto for personal sovereignty. I'm not in crypto to be made like slave. Somebody says, so you admit to playing in the dark forest. Basically, the EVM in Ethereum is described as a dark forest because it's so crazy what goes on in there. It's like really hard to understand and even trace and figure out what's really happening. So crazy things happen in there. This has been a nice, relaxing chat tonight. Thanks, man. Is this live? Yes, it is. Favorite fall crop? What? I don't know nothing about farming, man. Do you have an expectation on how long Pulse could take to see highs of HEX? Do you feel it's a superior product and grow faster? Well, I know that there's 35,000 people in the Pulse chat room and only 25,000 in HEX, even though HEX has been around 10 times longer. So that's really interesting. And I know that there's more sacrificers than there are Pulse. There's more sacrificers than there are HEX stakers by count. So it seems to me, based on the measurements, that Pulse is easier to understand and has a more attractive value proposition. Now, I'm not sure that it should, but I think the numbers are pretty conclusive in that there's more people that have sacrificed than there are that have staked. So that's pretty crazy because look how well HEX did. Wow. You know, like, wow. Richard, what's the estimated lifespan of Pulse when accounting for the fee burn and 0% inflation? Forever. Because if there's ever a problem, you just fix it. Oh, look, we ran out of Pulse. All right, well, then we'll move the decimal point. Low, look, everyone has units of Pulse again. It's not a big deal. Please tell us a story about your early years. Go into Hex Crypto Chat and Telegram and just type !past, and you can watch videos all about my past. Thoughts on nootropics? I don't mess with them. When you came on Discourse Syndicate last night, that was super cool, brother. Such a cool surprise. Thanks. Appreciate it. My first sacrifice, I sent ETH from my Metamask wallet and didn't link wallet. What? If you sent an Ethereum-based token, or Ethereum itself, ETH, from your MetaMask to the sacrifice address during the correct time frame, you're fine. As long as it was an approved token. So you didn't need to register. If you can see it on the chain, you're okay. You don't have to use, if you're using an EVM-based network, you don't have to use Pulse.info because it's all publicly viewable. So if you used AVAX or ETH or TRX or Theta or like, they're fine. You're okay, man. I think you're going to be fine. How much do you think London Fork or Ethereum will positively affect ETH? It might dump because so many people are looking forward to EIP 1559. Usually things get bought up before. That's the buy the news and then, or buy the rumor. And then when the news actually happens, they sell the news. So like, oh, Coinbase is going to launch. Buy the rumor. Oh, they launched. Dump, dump, dump. That was the top. So buy the rumor, sell the news usually plays out in crypto. So I think EIP 1559 is likely to be that same case. Will the Trust wallet work for the Pulse chain drop? Yeah, it's fine. Richard Hart, have you seen any of my questions? I'm not sure, Mr. Falcon Crypto. Maybe. I saw that one. Thoughts on buying land? I mean, look, if you buy anything that's not crypto, you could be costing yourself thousands of X returns. So if you buy $1 million of Rolexes and instead you bought $1 million of a coin that goes up 1,000x, that's $1 billion. So you got to be real careful with what you buy. If I were to buy a car stereo system today, what brand would you go with? I'm not really sure. I think JL still has the best subs, probably. I think Focal and Jeez, I can't even remember all the brands anymore. Morel, Focal. I'm out of it, bro. Yeah, I'm not sure I would trust my advice on the best car stereo stuff right now because I'm so out of it. Like, there's a brand that was really popular that used to win all the Ayahuasca tournaments that used titanium tweeters, and I can't even remember what they're called now. German brand, MB Court. Yeah, MB Court used to win a lot, and then like Focal would win a lot. It just kind of evolved over time. So I can't have coins in my MetaMask now that I've sacrificed? I don't understand your question, man. You gotta explain your question better. Do you think places like CMC will list Pulse correctly? I have no idea. I mean, my gut feeling is no. Like, they're just not good at their job, but who knows? What's the plan for Pulse in the next 4 weeks? We've got devs collating all of the sacrifice info and trying to match prices with times, with addresses. So that's being worked on. Private testnet's being worked on. Go.hex.com is being worked on. Exchange is being worked on. What else? That's our core focus now. And then, like, once one or two of those gets banged out, rotate into bridges and Uniswap fork and Uniswap front end. That's what's up. Have you met the Godwell? I wish. Godwell, whoever you are, you're awesome, man. Thanks for believing, bro. Can you describe how to purchase pHEX without using PLS at launch? In theory, if you have anything, like, the way the Uniswap works is you can route from anything to anything else. So if you have anything of value on the Uniswap network, you can route to the eHEX pair. So you'll be able to trade almost anything in Pulse for ePulse, or for eHEX. For pHEX, my God. It's going to take a while to get used to this stuff, man. I think I said the wrong ticker like 5 times. And then how can you do that without using PLS? I mean, you're going to need PLS to pay for the fees to do the transaction. So you're not going to be able to do it without PLS. What's the best thing I've read recently? This chat. Fosgate mids and highs always suck. Their subs are okay. Car stereo. Man, I'm missing so many questions. I'm sorry, guys. Hi, Richard. My brother and I are curious about the copied ETH liquidity pools to PLS. Would the ETH in the pairs be replaced by PLS? Yeah. There's just a bot that goes and fixes the ratios. And so there's going to be a little bit of extra Pulse minted in order to fix the ratios, because Pulse is 10,000 times more plentiful. Maybe we can demonstrate some of this stuff on testnet so that everyone understands it easier. RichardHeart has definitely read his financial regs, lol. I like reading. How to get this coin? It's my first visit. Go to PulseChain.com. Check it out. What's the purple light behind the bear and watches? It's a giant case full of Swarovski crystal. It's not really a purple light. It's just these incandescent bulbs I'm using have a color temperature of 2900 Kelvin. And the more blue light LED back there is probably a color temperature of 6000 Kelvin. So it's just more blue looking. This is the Bitcoin bear. He thinks that it's a bull trap. What do I think of UFOs? They're cool and they're everywhere, but they're just too far to ever reach us. So you got to get a blinged out pulse necklace. I'm working on it, and the stones are finally here, but I got to wait until he's got time to build it. So he says he's going to start in 2 months. I hope he does, but the stones are finally here, so. You're captivating, Lol. Thanks, man. New viewer from CF interview. CF. Ah, welcome. So I can't have coins in my Metamask now that I've sacrificed. He asked again. You got to use more words, bro. I don't know what you mean. Pulse doesn't exist yet. So no, you're not going to have Pulse, but I'm just guessing that that's the answer you want, bro. Your question needs written better. My favorite car is not a car. I'll take some pictures with it once I got it. I'll show it to you. Hashtag soon. Thoughts on buying land? I don't think the ROI is good. I think you'd be better off saving dry powder for crypto. Why, if you can make 4,000x your money in a year and a half, you basically should just master that skill and not care about anything else. Period. Because nothing else isn't even in the same universe as that. Thoughts on BAL? I don't know. I don't think they got much adoption. If you mean the ticker for Balancer Labs, I think that's what you mean. I don't even know if there's labs, but just Balancer. Have you met the God Whale? I don't think so. I think Pulse is honestly harder, and the higher numbers are from people like me who are salty they missed the big HEX gains. All right. Ethereum is only good for trading. It's garbage as a network, too expensive, too slow, and just broken at the foundation. Mainstream adoption will never happen if we settle for inferior Ethereum. All right. He keeps asking about the London fork. I already told you it's probably a buy the rumor, sell the news event. The price will probably dump when it actually happens. Price will run up until it, and then it'll dump after it, is what's common. But we might just dump early if this is a bull trap. So thank you, RichardHeart. You're the man. Thank you. Can I get a shout out? Sure, Ronaldo. How did you get into crypto and when? First quarter of 2011, I mined full Bitcoin blocks on my own with no pool, earning 50 Bitcoin block rewards per. Price was only 50 cents. I also helped make the top at 30 and held it all the way down to 2, unfortunately. Rich, you went to Nova. I think I saw you at Waffle House back around 98. Wouldn't surprise me, man. Many the breakfast I had there. I'm really an IHOP guy, but Waffle House was just on the way. So actually, I had a girl that I liked that worked there for a while too. Can you describe how to purchase pHEX without using PLS at launch? I mean, in order for you to do that, you're going to have to buy it from someone that has it. So first the coin has to exist, and then it has to have a market, and then Like you're basically asking me how to buy it the hard way. Like, why don't you just do it the easy way on chain? Like, why are you breaking your balls to try and ask me a question that routes it off chain? It's just harder. Like, why? It's designed for on-chain stuff. I don't know. I mean, just go buy anything else and then trade it on-chain. That's my opinion. Would you rather buy Bugatti or Pagani? Probably Pagani, just because, like, a little bit smaller, fit in more places. The Chiron seems a little bit big, but I mean, I haven't driven one, so I'll withhold judgment. Pagani looks cooler too, and I think it's even more affordable. So, like, yeah. Will you be able to swap Pulse to pHEX? Yes. You need to do sport, Richard, for your heart. Hey man, sex is a sport, right? I do that. Richard, man, I'm a new fan. You sound really reasonable. Everyone talks about you as being some type of impossible to talk guy, but you're actually smart and eloquent. Thank you. Thank you for the kind words. Will BSC work? You can sacrifice on BSC network or even your BNB coin, sure. What's your price prediction for ETH over the next few days? Because the IP? Buy the rumor, sell the news. Probably. Can you give a shout out to Willie? He got me into HEX and introduced me to you. You're both based. Thanks, man. Shout out, Willie. You were cut off by Omar regarding not being in cash. Can you elaborate? I don't know what you mean. I love your background. What's with the V's and geometry? They're just Louis Vuitton stuff. That's his logo. I do like V's though, and they're sharp, angular things. I prefer angular stuff to round stuff. And then someone in chat says jail is the best and Focal is the best. I'm like, well, cool. Thank goodness. I'm not too out of date. Audio bond? No. Don't buy that. It will break. What is the purpose of Ethereum and a Pulse chain endgame? To give us their users. To enjoy having their fees reduced. Can you please elaborate on the automated market maker fixer contract? Is there going to be insane arbitrage across copied pairs out of the gate? That's what the fixer contract does, is it attempts to make the numbers right at launch to account for the increased pulse quantity. Because otherwise it's just a race for the first guy to like make the arb. And then that's not fair to everybody else. So it's like, just let a contract fix it. Has it been decided how long the Pulse staking epochs will be for to pay out to the stakers daily? Good question. I haven't staked yet. I need to see how the devs decided that rate. And these are still variables we can change through things that we learn in the testnet. So I'm not actually sure what that rate is. It's a good question. Thank you. I'll try and learn the answer. How do you buy Pulse on the chain? Using Uniswap or my fork of Uni if it exists. And how do we get money on Pulse chain so you can buy the dip? Well, if you have any ERC20 in ETH, you're going to have its copy on Pulse 99.9% of the time. So I think you'll be able to buy the dip if you want to. You are missing important questions, man. I don't want to answer some of these questions. I read every question. I mean, some of them just, I don't scroll fast enough, but. Thoughts on buying virtual real estate seems terribly stupid to me. How crazy would it be if 700 million went to SENS.org? Well, they sell what they get, so I would prefer they don't receive any HEX. And let's see how they do with the 27 million they got. Richard, do you think Pulse has similar gas price issues as ETH? And then how long will it take to fill up? I mean, if it gets tons of adoption, it could start having high gas fees 3 or 4 years, I guess. But the technology to scale might be ready by then. You know, like composable layer 2s might be good by then. I've got some other tricks up my sleeve to improve scalability, like quite a few, so it could be longer. How many wallets until HEX is viral? Not sure. I hope we change the lives of many by using our freedom of speech towards blockchain technology. Me too. Who's the best dev for Pulse? I have several good ideas on self-repaying loans. All my best devs are busy, bro. Go find your own devs. Oh my God, there's so many questions here. You guys, holy crap. Man, how are there so many questions? I'm just going to scroll to ones I want to answer. What year was my Bronco? 1986. I can make your necklace ASAP. Hit me up at t.me/RichardHeart and show me your previous work. Do you think the rich will solve global warming? No. Why does chat slow down periodically? I really don't know. Everybody asking me about my wallet. Stop. Stop asking me about my money. Quit it. If you ask me again, I'm going to ban you. Is it like collard greens? Not really. What are some scaling solutions? ZK rollups, sharding, some other things I don't want to tell you about. Any life advice for Xcoins that now have wealth they never had before? Read my book, Scivive. t.me/SCIVIVE. And Maddie Allen has a show on sudden wealth syndrome. I didn't watch it, but it's probably good. So check out Sudden Wealth Syndrome, Maddie Allen. ALLIN. I submitted the form to the SENS Foundation but didn't receive an email back with my donation. Send them an email. Airdrop@sens.org. I can deliver a CAD rendering for you by Friday. Cool. Message me and I'll show you what I've already got. What's wrong with Denny's? Denny's is alright. IHOP's the best in my opinion. Like for Denny's versus IHOP versus Waffle House, I'm taking IHOP every time. What's my take on that government bill to screw with crypto? I hate it. I hope we beat it. What I study at university? Entrepreneurship. Richard, I donated $50 to the SENS Foundation yesterday. Happy to help. Thanks. You gonna write another book? I think I should work on getting the couple I already wrote to get read. Do you need to move the entire PLS balance if you don't want to get clawed back? Yes. If there's any balance there, it's going to get reduced if you got free Pulse for being an ETH holder. Did the Miami Dolphins use train at Nova? No. Not when I was there. Any info on the swap rate between Pulse and pHEX? No idea. Everything launches at 0, so people are going to have to make their own decisions, I think. I mean, there's going to be some ratio after the fixer bot does its magic, but then no one knows that that's going to be worth like $0 until someone performs the first trade. In all caps, EEE says, Nuggets News said HEX has no liquidity, so you can't sell a big amount. What's that about? The all caps questions are the best. If you want to know how liquid HEX is, go to 1inch.io, click Launch App, drop down the box to HEX, drop down the box to USDC, type 820,000 HEX, which is about $1 million. Maybe it's 840,000 HEX currently, because I just did this about an hour ago. And you'll see that if you sell $1 million of HEX, you're going to get 4.5% slippage. So if you want to sell $1 million of HEX, you will get 4.5% slippage, which means you'll get 4.5% less, which means you'll get, let's go do it. 1inch.io, launched app, HEX, USDC. Look, it's already there waiting for me. 840,000. That's $1 million. So when you sell your $1 million of HEX, you're going to get 970 grand. You get it? Is that liquid enough for you? These numbers are always like this. Every time I check them, it's about, actually now it's only 4% slippage. So between 4 and 5% slippage is what I see every time I go to check how much slippage you get if you sell $1 million. I've seen people sell their HEX and buy Lamborghinis, Ferraris, McLarens, Maybachs, houses, trailers, boats, you name it. People are getting rich, really, really, really rich. What do you think happens when the price goes up 4,000x? It's very easy to understand. And the proof is right here. On-chain, verifiable, you can physically see people that have made millions of dollars. You can see when they bought, you can see when they sold, you can see how much money they've got. It's the most obvious thing in the world and the most verifiable thing in the world. This idea of what if everyone sells at once? If everyone sells all the real estate at once, it all goes to 0. If everyone sells all the gold at once, it all goes to 0. If everyone sells all the anything at once, it all goes to 0. It's a very silly argument. Richard, is it cool if we make a bunch of deepfakes of you? Well, there's this law called fair use, and if they're fair use, I guess you're okay. But if they're not fair use, I guess they're not okay. So I retain all my rights to my image, but that doesn't really affect fair use, does it? Weird how far behind he is in chat. Yes, because it takes me minutes to answer your 1-second question. So there's an asymmetry involved. Sick green screen? What? Are you silly? Here, man. Let's go check out the green screen. Ah, look, I grabbed it right out of the green screen. Look, it's virtual reality. What do you think this little box cost? First of all, depending on what you look at, this is like in between $3,000 and $15,000, this bear. This is $1 million of watches. This box, I think, was $5,000. It's just a box. No green screen here, buddy. Real, authentic, au natural. Oh, it's not going back so happily. I guess this will just live here now. If everything has to go through price discovery again on PulseChain, how do you see this playing out, assuming people will want to buy pHEX with whatever was copied over from their Metamask? I don't know. I mean, I think some things will be more valuable on Pulse than on Ethereum. Things that have just priced out where they can't even afford to transact. I think some things will be more expensive on Ethereum than Pulse, maybe because they're like not really DeFi. They like have middlemen that control front ends, and you know the users have to beg them, please do this, please do that kind of stuff. And there might evolve to be like some type of common ratio of the value of one to the other on certain things, and then maybe the market will, if the price on one goes up, the market will try and pull up the price on the other, because it really is the same code. So identical code on a superior network should have value. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be so cool to find this out. I mean, we're really pushing the limits, and just, it's going to be so amazing. I can't wait to find out. Who would win in a wrestling match? Mere Tone. Go watch an interview I did against him in person, and I'm basically twice his size, like literally in every dimension. So I'm going to win that one. I mean, I offered him to arm wrestle. He declined. Who do they think I did? I know I wanted to because I saw him arm wrestle someone else. I think I offered him to. I might not have. So ask him. Ask Tone Vase whether I offered to arm wrestle him in Singapore or not. Then we'll get verification on that. Can you give a shout out to J Mills? J Mills is the guy that lost that 50 to 30 bet. What's up, J Mills? How you liking the price chart, homie? Get trapped. Shout out to Daddy Thunder. He got me to sacrifice. All right. Some of these questions are a little hard. Richard, what's the plan for an enclosed system where we don't need externalities that encumber the system? What? I'm working on it, man. I'm doing stuff, and the stuff all touches each other. So I think what he's saying is, if you have the value storage in HEX, and you have the network on Pulse, and you have fiat on-ramps and off-ramps with at least maybe the exchange I started, or I'm hoping to get approved to do business. And then if you have a MetaMask fork or replacement, users don't need to see anything else. You can get in, you can get out, you can have a great time, and you don't need to see all the noise and scams and rug pulls and crap. I think that's what it means. If you had filet mignon in front of you or a greasy cheeseburger, which one are you smashing? I'm taking the filet, bro, because I just had a really greasy cheeseburger earlier. I would probably always pick the filet anyway. We'll be able to store Pulse on a hardware wallet? Yeah, I think so. Trezor Ledger should be fine. MetaMask supports them. Hey Richard, did the Miami Dolphins used to train at Nova? No, again. I've answered this. Like, I'm not that far behind now, am I? Maybe. What did you work on before coming into the crypto world? Go to Hex Crypto, t.me/Hex Crypto, and type !past. Or go to richardheart.com. That's an easier way, actually. Rich, I got a baller diamond ring thanks to HEX, and by the way, I didn't even sell, but like a fraction of my HEX, and we'll hold this ring for a long time. Just want to say, appreciate the gains. Cool, man. I have a question. Will there be a testnet for developers? Yes, we're working on it. That is exactly what we're working on now. Hopefully it's up this week. Hey Richard, you're the most cool YouTuber. I got all my friends and family to Pulse. What do you think about the US government bill to regulate ban crypto, blah, blah, blah? I hate it. I hate it, and you should call your congressperson. You should call and email and physically mail your representatives and your senators that represent you where you live. You should do that and tell them what crap it is, this idea they're thinking of. How does the last day of sacrifice work? It's not weighted. Everyone gets 1.75x. What are the few skills everyone should master? Read my book, t.me/sci5. It's free. Read it. Do you expect low caps to thrive on PulseChain due to gas fees? Maybe. What are your thoughts on GPU storage and having to pay scalpers? I don't know what you're talking about, dude. I think you're talking about the chip shortage where GPUs cost a lot. Welcome to chip shortages. That's limited resources get bid up in price. That's how it works. I just saw HEX on the Atomic wallet. Is that new? Is that new? I thought it was always on there. I don't know. I thought you were banned. Yeah, I was, and then they unbanned me. So this happens to everybody in crypto. They get banned and they get unbanned. It sucks. It's not cool, man. Guys, go to PulseChain.com. It's important. Follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/RichardHeartWin. Click the like button. Click the bell. Subscribe. Go to t.me/PulseChainCom. t.me/HEXCrypto. t.me/SciVive for my free books. The sacrifice phase is coming to an end. It's ending. PulseChain. PulseChain. No. 1 hour and 38 minutes until the final day. In an hour and 38 minutes, the rate will go up another 5%, and then that's it. It's the final day. The ranking phase is over. It's now just 1.75x bonus for everybody, regardless of volume. If you make a MetaMask fork, what will happen to stakes on Metamask? It doesn't matter. You can use multiple wallets, and just having another wallet option doesn't affect the chain. It's just another way to access the chain. And also, I have no idea why a mod deleted that question, because that question was totally fine. Some guy says that he's had channels banned with 0 content uploaded. There you go. Important question. Who would win in a dance battle between Keith Richards and Vin Diesel? I think Keith Richards is going to win that one, man. So guys, free coins, free books, free Ethereum and Bitcoin price calls that are amazing usually. The world's largest airdrop, $27 million raised for medical research, $700 million sacrificed for free speech. Price on HEX went up 386,000% before staking, 8,000 with staking. How could it be any better? We're winning the game. We're totally winning the game. You don't have to delete the all cap stuff, bro. I don't mind the all caps. Some people just type that way. It's fine. How do I eat my steak? Medium. Depends on where you're getting it. So most places medium's fine, warm pink center, but some places they overcook it, and then those places you order medium rare to get an actual medium. What physical exercise do you? I used to do push-ups, deadlifts, and bench every day. Or I'm sorry, chin-ups, deadlift, and bench every day. But I haven't been doing that for a while, so need to get back into it. Guys, it has been fun. It really has. We're changing the world. We're making the world a better place. And we're doing it together. So, proud to be a Hexican. And I really am excited and impressed by what you guys are doing. So keep up the good work, everybody. I'm going to go hang out and chat. I'm going to go hang out in t.me/PulseChainCom. And I'm going to go check my Twitter at twitter.com/RichardHeartWin. And I really hope to see you guys over there. Send me a message. Make the engagement bot happy, you know? Drop some likes on there. And if you want this stuff to go viral, you got to make it go viral. So you can't have expectation of profit from work of others, but you can do work, and you can have expectations of your own work. So go do some work, guys. No time like now. Let's go change the world together.